are live. I am Savage Squishy 6. We are back with our continuing a live stream of Resident Evil Director's Cut. Okay, what is going on? Why is this broadcasting? I'm not sure why this is not broadcasting. Here we go again. Taking the piss out of me. Oh, there we go. Okay, we are live. Okay, fantastic. Had me bit kind of like sketchy there. So, yeah, sorry about that. I doing my head in a little bit here. So, I actually repurposed my camera a little bit, so hopefully you guys can get a better thing. Do a little bit there. Okay, that's easy. So, yeah, for whatever reason, it was kind of doing me a bit do-dally there because I wasn't broadcasting. So it looks like we are broadcasting. Okay, I'm really leery and paranoid now with the whole thing that happened with Bloodborne. So essentially, I'm like hoping to not have that happen again. But here we are. This is the very first Resident Evil game that I played back in 1997, later 1998, as I was young. And as you can see, it is about as OG as it gets. This was the very first game that started it all. The zombies. Survival horror, for me, as a general rule. Essentially, this is the beginning. This is the progenitor of the entire series. This was the one that put this game on the map. And this February 27th, we will be celebrating 30 years of this game. 30 years, this franchise. That is monumental. That's Friday the 13th levels. That is Stephen King levels. That's George Romero levels. I mean, that is just incredible. I'm a huge fan of this series. I'm a huge fan of the lore. I'm a fan of the franchise. I could never see myself not playing any, or not a single one dedicated game that I honestly say is worth everything. That being said, there are some titles that I will say are better than others. And I will say that there are some that really will shine or outshine their predecessors, or at the very least their successor. But this game was the beginning of everything for players as a whole and for collectively as a whole. So, and in my opinion, you cannot really appreciate the remakes unless you've enjoyed the classics. So I also took the liberty of going through my playlist and I deleted the old version of a playthrough, if you will, of the remake of the original Resident Evil 1. So this is what I'm going to propose. What I am going to do for you, my audience, my viewers, is I'm going to do the entire OG series. And I'm also going to do the entire remake series. Now, obviously, I will not do Resident Evil 2. No, I will not do Resident Evil 3 Remake because we've already done that. It's on the stream. Look at the playlist for the Resident Evil live streams and you will find the complete live play stream of Resident Evil 3. And you will also find the one for Resident Evil 2. But this is what I will do. I'm going to do the entire playthrough of Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut, both Chris and Jill, in scenarios. I'm also going to do a follow-up on Resident Evil the Remake, Resident Evil 1 Remake of Chris and Jill. I'm also going to do Resident Evil 2, the OG version. But I'm also going to do the remake for Resident Evil 2. And I'm only going to do it, if you look at my live stream on my playlist, I did Leon, I did Claire, Scenario 1, and then Leon, Scenario 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Leon, Scenario 1, and then Claire, Scenario 2, in that order, since I haven't done that one. But I am going to do the Resident Evil 2 OG version and the Resident Evil 3 Nemesis version. So we have a lot of Resident Evil we're going to be doing here. We're going to do also probably I'm not sure I'm not sure if I want to do the OG version of Resident Evil 4. I might, and then I'll do the remake of Resident Evil 4, followed by Resident Evil 5, 6, 7, and Village. Um, I'm not a big fan of the Resident Evil 7 and Village games. I'm very old school, so my dispassionate opinion about, Ethan Winters as a character and his story kind of displaced. Um, I'm a purist by nature, so for me, the heart of Resident Evil with Jill Valentine, Claire Redfield, Leon S. Kennedy Redfield, they're always going to be scope of all of it. I'm also going to do Resident Evil Code Veronica because I also have that as well, and pretty much that is what we will shoot for. I haven't really decided if I'll do Revelations or Revelations, but I'll explore that possibly. But I mean, like I said though, for the next couple of weeks, maybe for the next couple of months, I think we'll have our hands full with a abundance of Resident Evil content. So, but Resident Evil got started in 1996 um, with Capcom. It is one of their crowning achievements, their ship uh, of monumental horror, survival horror. The only one I would ever really put on a candle as being equatable to the Resident Evil franchise would be one or two titles, Silent Hill, and also the much overlooked, and I very much would like to see a remake, would be Dino Crisis, which is a spiritual successor to Resident Evil with a dinosaur-themed survival horror uh, contrast. It's one of my other favorite games. I also have that. I might try doing that on my own time because I need a refresher, and I've been really edging for a really good dinosaur. I've got Turok, but I've been really edging for a survival horror game and not an FPS one. So yeah. So we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun. And I love the Resident Evil remakes. Don't get me wrong. I will always love the Resident Evil remakes, top to bottom. That's no dispute to that. But you cannot love the remakes unless you respect the classics. And I think the classics will always stand the test of time as the very scope of what we collectively have to pleasurably enjoy today in 30 years of our time from 1996 here into 2026. So I am very much enthusiastic for this. I'm looking forward to this. And I think it is pretty safe to say that we can all really agree on that because, it is one of those monumental things that, you cannot really appreciate until you enjoy the, the clandestine design of it without looking past the crown jewel of it all, which is right here. So, but enough of my nagging. We're gonna get right into this. So, what we're gonna do is we're essentially gonna start with the most basic layout of the game, and it's gonna be standard difficulty. It is the purest form of difficulty. There is a number of different game modes. There is a standard mode, there is a training mode, then there's an advanced mode. Um, each one has its own unique faculties. Training pretty much is pretty much of the genre for people who never use tank controls, which we will encounter that tank controls being the very generic form of, back and forth, turning left and right real slow. It's not fluid. It's not very, responsive, but it is essentially as old school as you can get. So let's get into it. So first thing we're gonna do though, check away the settings, and you can see that you can change any number of things with the uh, this version, including the classic arcade aesthetic, the default aesthetic, the modern aesthetic. So there's a huge measure of you know aesthetic. So we'll just stick with the default for now. And then you can obviously change the screen's scope. Native version is probably this version right here, but I like to go for a more kind of linear appeal, so square pixels probably. We'll probably experiment with this once we get into the game because the game can be kind of jarring. The menu is one thing, but the screen's overall generational slope is pretty much that. You also have a save system here where you can load and save. So it's kind of a bit cheap, but this is essentially what you can do with the saving. You can also rewind, so it really kind of defeats the purpose of really the overall measures of needing to save or load. So if you do screw up, you can always go right back, and you can create quick saves too. So just pressing the triangle button there. So a lot of this was not featured in the OG version. You had the thing of memory cards for those of us who grew up in that time period. Memory cards were the way you saved, not an HDD. So, but here we have advanced training and standard. So, advanced, I'm not really sure what that does. So let me just take a brief moment and look. I should have looked this up, but I didn't. So let me take a quick look at this before we get further in. Advanced difficulty modes. Okay, so here we go. Difficulty mode. Standard. Same difficulty original release of Resident Evil. Standard game difficulty. Training easier. Double the ammo. Enemies take more damage and you take less damage. Advanced. Chris and Jill wear different costumes in this mode. Items are at different locations. Enemies take and down more damage. There are a few different camera angles. Beat texture, and an additional scene with Forest Spear. The Beretta is a bit more similar to the Colt Python in this mode, and it has a chance of taking off a zombie's head in 1 to 5 shots. Ink ribbons give you heat use. Finally, the costume closet is a locked by default. Beating the game with the best ending unlocks the Colt Python with an unlimited ammo. Game time does not matter. Well, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I'll still with standard. I could get the occult python for advanced, but I really want to keep this as about as straightforward and shot that I can possibly get. So we're gonna go ahead and stick with standard in this case. So start a new game. Love that sound. Just gets you going. So right away you pick two characters. Obviously these were the first of the series. Jill Valentine is a former thief with her father, who ultimately went to prison and encouraged his daughter to change her life around. The reason why she has the lockpick skill is essentially because she was originally been taught by her father to be a thief. But essentially she turned her life around and became a police officer for the Stars Alpha Team in Raccoon City. Chris is a former United States Air Force pilot. He originally was brought into Stars by the officer Barry Burton. Now, the unique thing about the scenario selection here is that Barry will be in Jill's scenario, but not in Chris's. It is a very kind of blaring kind of confusion with the lore, but the canon lore effectively says that Chris essentially goes to look. Essentially, in The Rook, if you read the book, the novel by Resident Evil of S.D. Perry, Chris, Jill, Barry, and Wesker all end up in the hall at the same time. Unfortunately, for the game's versions, that is not the case. Barry is missing in Chris's scenario, and essentially, um, Chris is missing in Jill's scenario. But essentially, Chris goes to find what this gunshot was. He gets into a scuffle with a zombie. They hear him get in. He doesn't come back, so Jill and Barry go looking for Chris. And that's essentially how the story of the very first Resident Evil envelops as a whole. I highly recommend to look them up. The Resident Evil novels have all been basically written into novel. The Resident Evil games have all been written into very good novels. I've read all the novels, really, almost just about. Um, with S.D. Perry being the author of the entire series from Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, 0. I think, yeah, they did do Zero. There was one book that did not make. There were two games. One of them was Resident Evil. There was two books that were written that really would have made great games, in my opinion. One of them was Resident Evil Caliban Cove, which suggested a lighthouse outbreak in Maine that was involving Rebecca Chambers. Another one was also Resident Evil Underworld, which was essentially a desert environment that involved Leon, Barry, Chris, and I think a few others. I don't remember. But they were very good novels. I highly recommend anybody who's got a real good enthusiasm for reading good books, check them out. They're worth your time. But in this particular scenario, we're going to play with Chris first. Now, Chris will be a bit more challenging. He does not start with a gun. It's strictly a knife for him. He only has 6 pockets. Jill's 8. But he comes equipped with a lighter, so we won't really have to carry the lighter around like we will with Jill. But he will also need small keys, where Jill has the lockpick. So each character has their own unique trade-offs, but they also have their unique benefits. Chris, in my opinion, is a harder character to play with, because of his limited inventory, and also for the fact that he has to need an additional item to unlock small, simple locked doors. Jill will be an easier one for some of you, so if you feel inclined, you're more than welcome to try that. But after we get done with Chris, we're going to jump right to Jill. So let's get into the action. Where it all started. I'm so excited. Such a nerd, but I love the game.
Forest zone situated in northwest Raccoon City, where we're searching for the helicopter of our compatriots Bravo team, who disappeared during the middle of our mission. No, I haven't found it yet. Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in Raccoon City. There are outlandish reports of families being attacked by a group of about 10 people. Victims were apparently eaten. Bravo team went to the hideout of the group and disappeared.
Look, Chris!
This live action film production was actually pretty spot on. I kind of wish they stuck with it with other games, but
strangely,
it was fun.
the equipment was still there. However, we soon discovered why.
Now, this is actually where the dogs attack us in the game.
Run for that house!
There are only 3 STARS members left now. Captain Wesker, Jill, and myself. We don't know where Barry is.
Chris Redfield. Jill Valentine. Barry Burton. Rebecca Jessica Chambers. Albert Wesker. Resident Evil.
I was actually going to dress up as Albert Wesker one particular year when I was young, but they wouldn't let me bleach blonde my hair, which I was very pissed off about that, but I would have actually made a good Wesker.
I don't know what happened.
Barry! Where's Barry?
Well, I'm sorry, but he's probably...
No. What is that?
I'll go and check.
Okay.
Ugh, it gets me so pumped. I love this shit.
Chris? Take care.
This is essentially how the remake also plays out, with the exception of multiple details being changed. So, as you can see, the tank controls are pretty straightforward. To turn, you have to basically do it like that. There is no quick turn feature like in more up-to-date Resident Evil games. That will come later. But we're gonna go ahead and see what kind of aspect ratio we can get with this, productivity-wise. See, there's the native resolution. That's essentially what it did look like. That looks just, I'm not a fan of that. So we're gonna find a happy medium. So square pixels, 1 square pixels. I think I'm gonna stick with square pixels. So the touchpad on your PlayStation 5 controller, if you're playing with that, will essentially open up your inventory. No files. The map will essentially encompass the main hall, dining room. So this is essentially where we will. Triangle button will get you out of bed menus. And then here we have the knife. Essentially, this will be our only weapon at present until we run into a scuffle. So head into the room and check everything out. Note the clock on the right. That will be important later. My memory will be a little fuzzy, so I'm going to do my best to cover everything that I possibly can. So here we have a emblem we will need to grab, but we're not going to take it with us right now. We'll go through this door over here, though. Before we go left, we're going to head right. Check the doors. Number one, this door is locked on the other side, so this cannot enter. This door down here will also be locked on the side. And then this door will be locked, but it will have the carving of a sword underneath it. So to open this door, we need a key with a sword on. Now to run, you want to hold the square button. Just run like that. It makes it take time. Turning the corner, we'll encounter our first zombie. Now, we do not want to fight the zombie with a knife because it is essentially not really going to be a... We're certainly going to get hurt. So I would only use the knife in this game. Chris, in the remake, has a better reach with the knife, but I would only use the knife in instances with enemies that are down, or potentially that I am get a couple quick stabs in when their back is to me. But that's it. I would never take the risk with this weapon if I absolutely need to. So return to the main hall. You would tell them what you found, and you'll find both Wesker and Jill are gone.
Wesker? Jill? What happened to Jill and Wesker?
But while they are gone, Jill's gun will be lying here on the floor. So go ahead and take it. Now we have a way to fight back. But it's important to note that the game, the scope of this is to survive. So we want to save as many shots as possible. We want to only put enemies down in a way that actually will enable us to run past them, and essentially nothing more. The door here is locked. This is obviously going to have an armor key, so we need a key carved with the armor, so we need an armor key. So we're going to head through the door to the right into a kind of art gallery. At the top of that statue, though, you'll notice there's a map. We need to get it, so push the steps over and then up. And this will give us a map of the first floor of the mansion. So, entering this back area, we'll have another zombie here, and this is a good instance where we want to use our knife. So, we're going to head around to the left of him. He will be awake, so you can obviously push him there, but if you grabs your foot, he will take a couple bites out of you and do damage. So, we're going to go ahead and do this. Just stay behind him and stab him. If he starts to get away, just reposition and keep it going. And once you see the blood pool out underneath him, that's a good indicator he's dead, so he won't be giving us any more trouble. We have ink ribbons that we picked up. That will enable us to save our game. You don't necessarily need to grab them, but for the presence of for the sake of just homage to the old mentality, I'm going to pick them up anyway. So, first thing we'll do, save our game. Oh, we have more ink ribbons. So now we have 6. I forgot there was ink ribbons here. So let's go ahead and save our ink ribbon. Memory cards. Another classic version of it. And that will do Mansion Hall, first floor. Now, at this point, we obviously don't have a way around on the first floor. Most of the rooms are locked and sealed. So our only other option is go to the second floor. If you try to open this door over here, you will find that it is not going to be a good idea. So as soon as you try to open the door, the dogs will be outside waiting. So the dogs will be waiting outside. In the remake, you actually will have to kill the dog as it jumps through the door, so you'll be attacked. So in this version, we don't have that problem. So instead, we're going to head up the stairs now. This sequence, where it was like slow opening doors or slowly going upstairs, it was always nerve-wracking for me. You have to remember, this game was in '96 with its release. I played it in '98. So at 98, I was 12. I'm 40 now. And I cannot tell you how incredibly shit scared I was playing this game in my youth. And I was lucky to get away with it. If my parents had known it, they probably never would have let me play it. But I actually played it at my babysitter's house. Her son was playing this game. And that's where it started for me. I couldn't beat it then. But when I got older, like maybe a year later, like 13, 14, then I beat it. So we got a few options. You can go to the one room over here, or we can go to the room over there. Either or, you're going to run into zombies, so essentially we're going to need to do it by ear. So as soon as we enter the room, we'll immediately hear a zombie approaching. Wait for him to enter your sight line before you start firing. And remember, we're going to put him down just enough to run past them. That's essentially what we want. The door here is locked, carving of an armor, so we can't go through that one. Over here we have an armor room. That is also locked, armor key. We want to run through this one. Alright, that's locked from the other side, so we're going to essentially try to run around him and head through this door. So the zombies, you can pretty much run around if you have to, but it's not recommended if you have a clear guarantee you can get past them. Now, upon entering this room, over here on the right, there is nothing uncommon, but in the corner, very faintly, don't know if you can hear one. Doesn't look like it. Okay, I thought there would be a red herb there. Now here on the table, though, you'll find a botany book. I'm gonna read it. As you may know, there are many plants that have medical effects. Since the ancient times, humans have been healing wounds and diseases using various plants. In this book, we're going to sample 3 herbs that grow around Raccoon Mountains. Do not run away with that. Herbs. You know what I'm talking about. Mm-mm. You eat them. You don't. Mm-mm. And give their outlines as examples of those plants with medical properties. Each herb has different colors and different effects on medical plants. The green one recovers physical strength, the blue one neutralizes natural poisons, toxins, while the red herb does not have any effect by itself. The red herb is only effective when it is mixed with the other herb. For example, if you mix this herb with the herb that recovers physical strength, the recovery effect will be tripled. By adjusting the amount and experimenting with these 3 herbs, you can create various kinds of medicines, but I'll leave the details in your hands because that's the best way to acquire true knowledge. So, green herbs effectively will heal you. Green and red will give you full health heal. Blue will neutralize poison. You can combine all of them in every sense way, with the exception of red and blue. Unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of doing that in this game like we did in Resident Evil 2 Remake, where you could give yourself a temporary damage resistance. So that has been filed. Over here, I'm not sure if there's anything I can grab here. I can't really see too well. Usually there's a clip here, but it doesn't look like it. So, no big deal. We're going to unlock this door, and we're going to head out. Immediately, we're going to run because we're going to have a zombie to our right, and we're going to have a zombie to our front. Multiple zombies is never a good thing. So, head down the stairs, and then we're going to head into the storeroom just around the corner from us. But I think there'll be a zombie there. Right there. Let's put him down. Now, I'll be putting him down. That keeps him out of our hair, so we can move through this small passage relatively easy. Grab the green herb over here in the corner that he was originally with. So we're getting kind of low on ammo, so hopefully there'll be some ammo clip in here. I don't remember, so we'll see what we get. Here we have some herbicide, which is another item of key importance we're going to need. Go ahead and check it, and you'll see that the chemical is, in fact, a called to kill weeds, which is going to be changed of herbicide. Open the storage container, and in here we will have 2 clips of ammo. Beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and green herb away, put the herbicide away. We'll go ahead and put the ink ribbon away as well. Now, with a little bit of ammo in our pocket, we can have a little bit of breathing room with taking on some zombies. So we're definitely going to take advantage of that. I will go ahead and also leave my first aid spray behind because I don't particularly need that just yet. I'm very good at managing my resources, as you saw with my previous Bloodborns. And I also am pretty good about, prioritizing, what initiatives I take going forward with anything else going forward into that respect. So It's locked from the inside, so obviously we can't go this way. We have to go back. So we'll have to prioritize shooting one of the zombies pretty fast and getting some distance, because by the time we take the one down to our left, the other one will be joining us from the other side. So let's go ahead and immediately run over here. Oh, shit. Alright, we're taking a little bit of damage from him vomiting acid on us. I think that is gonna be it for him. Alright, that's it. Those zombies are dead. They're pretty much out of the way. There is a zombie at the far end of the hall. You can see him around the corner, but we're not gonna go after him. The door is locked, so that essentially will mean that door is not accessible. But we will open this door and make our way through. Now, as soon as we get into this action, we're going to want to just time our movement and see if we can run past this asshole. I don't think we're going to get that chance. Thankfully, we got 2 cuts on him, and that took him down. So... Oh, shit. Alright, we gotta look for a window for him to run past him. So... And there we go. We are out of here. So, that essentially will leave him alone for the instance that we have on our side in terms of time frame. We need to find a key. We have 2 shots left in our pistol and an additional 15 in the main clip, so we're going to want to be careful with that. So obviously right away to our left we'll have some zombies. Oh, he'll get me. Now, if you push the buttons fast enough, you can run past him. Obviously, you'll take a little bit of damage, but you can actually break the contact. But apparently, between the vomits and the biting, it doesn't look like we took too much damage as of yet. So we don't really have the luxury of ammo at yet present to dispatch these enemies. So we're gonna need to basically... oh, Jesus. Okay. Oh, come on, buddy. Let me go. So... shit. Alright, now we got a little damage on us. A little caution. We're gonna need to... this is where it gets a little tough, because essentially it's not like the other versions. You have a means of fighting back in this case, though. But thankfully we have... there's a zombie there. There's another zombie there. So you have a lot of zombies in this game where they're everywhere. Really, every hall, every room.
Whoa! What is it?
What? Oh! Oh no! Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
You must be from the Bravo team.
Yes, I'm Rebecca. Rebecca Chambers. I'm a newcomer. I just joined the Stars Bravo team last month. Well, I'm really sorry. Are you all right?
Yes. I'm Chris Redfield from the Alpha team. Are you the only person here from the Bravo team?
Well, because the helicopter made a forced landing, I just ran into this house anyway, but
I see. There's nothing else you could have done anyway. It's good you're here.
Yes, sir. But it's strange. I serviced the helicopter recently, but something went wrong with the engine. It was such a short flight.
So once we've entered this room, we'll find Rebecca Chambers, and she will basically be Chris's companion, similar to how Barry would be Jill's companion. So, but on the bed over here, we will find the sword key. So we have a mansion key we can now access. So checking it will pretty much determine its value and necessity. I'm not sure if there is a ink ribbon here. It doesn't look like it. So, but we're going to definitely save our game because it's getting a little dicey. So we'll grab our ink ribbon. And then we'll go ahead and throw that in the box. Now, she will ask if she wanted to come with you or not. It's really not... It's not a terribly bad idea to have her come with you, but at the same time, I'm not sure they would really gain anything from it. I mean, she essentially is... I mean, she has her uses, but I mean, I don't know effectively the scope of that. So...
Well, what should I do now? If you go out to search for the other members, how about letting me come with you?
So you can have her come with you. I don't really know if she has a weapon. I can't remember. I think she does have a weapon, but I think ultimately it would be in your best interest to leave her here because she actually is a medic, and there's a lot of medical items here. So essentially, you could have her heal you if you let her stay behind, if you get into some shit. So we're going to have her stay here.
It's pretty dangerous outside. Let me take care of it.
I understand. For now, I'll wait here, since there are a lot of chemicals in this room and they might be useful. Well, I'll look over the chemicals.
So that will keep her safe and give you a means of getting healed in the event you need it. So, but we're going to immediately head out here and immediately dodge and run around these zombies. Immediately head to the far end of this room and enter the hallway in this room. Oh, shit. Didn't mean to do that. There's another zombie there. We're going to use the sword key, though, and open that door up. So we're getting a little... It's getting a little dicey now for us with health, so we need to be careful. So we're going to have a clip on the bed. And then immediately over here, we'll have another diary. But as soon as we go to open it, we'll be attacked by a zombie. So run away and take him down. So that'll take care of that zombie. But inside we will find shotgun shells. So let's grab those. And then over here we're going to examine this diary here, which is essentially a keeper's diary. And it's kind of a bit leery because you get the sense of that slowly but surely, he's losing himself, and essentially this is his infection. He's infected with this business. So, May 9th, 1998, at night we played poker with Scott, the guard, Elias, and Steve, the researcher. Steve was really lucky, but I think he was cheating. What a scumbag. May 10th, today, a high-ranking researcher asked me to take care of a new monster. It looks like a gorilla without any skin. They told me to feed them live food. When I threw in a pig, they were playing with it, tearing off the pig's legs and pulling out the guts before they actually ate it. Around May 11th, around 5 o'clock this morning, Scott came in and woke me up. Suddenly, he was wearing a protection suit that looks like a spacesuit. He told me to put one on as well. I heard there was an accident in the basement lab. It's no wonder. Those researchers never rest, even at night. May 12th. I've been wearing this annoying spacesuit since yesterday. My skin grows musty and feels very itchy. By way of revenge, I didn't feed those dogs today. Now I feel better. I went to the medical room because my back is all swollen and feels itchy. They put a big bandage on my back, and the doctor told me I did not need to wear the spacesuit anymore. I guess I could sleep well tonight. May 14th. When I woke up this morning, I found another blister on my foot. It was annoying, and I ended up dragging my foot as I went to the dog's pen. They have been quiet since morning, which is very unusual. I found that some of them had escaped. I'll be in real trouble if the higher-ups find out. May 15th. Even though I didn't feel well, I decided to go to see Nancy. It's my first day off in a long time, but I was stopped by the guard on the way out. They say the company has ordered that no one leave the grounds. I can't even make a phone call. What kind of joke is this? 16th, I heard a researcher who tried to escape from this mansion was shot last night. My entire body feels burning and itchy at night. When I was scratching the swelling on my arm, a lump of rotten flesh dropped off. What the hell is happening to me? May 19th, fever gone, but itchy. Hungry and eat doggy food. Itchy, itchy. Scott came, ugly face, so killed him. Tasty. 4. Itchy, tasty. Now, the irony is that was actually the line, itchy, tasty, that essentially was the hallmark of Resident Evil's beginnings, was itchy, tasty. So as you can see, from May 19th, going all the way back to May 11th, 8 days, the infection accelerated and spread throughout the facility. So essentially, that is the whole antithesis of the events leading up to it. And here we are in July. So this was like last month and weeks later. So once we get that taken care of, we're going to head out here. And we're going to open the door from the other side. And now we're in a position where we can kill that one zombie. And it's kind of important because there's another piece of ammo on the corpse of the STARS officer he was eating. So we're essentially going to just lead him away from the body. Switch to the knife. Another 3 shots. A knife again. And then finish it. Over here, it's Kenneth from the STARS Bravo team. Now he's become a mere shadow of his former self. And then on his body, you will find another magazine. And another magazine. So you will have 2 clips there. Magazine clips. The proper term for it is magazines, but clips, I don't know why they would name it that. It's just, discombobulating jargon, because that's not what they're called. But you have to remember this was the 90s, so, games weren't politically correct with their terminologies. Here we have the emblem, which we're going to take. It's going to be a relevant piece of equipment we're going to need for a puzzle. So we'll take that. And now that we have the ammo, we can clean out some of the zombies in the blue hallway we just went through. Because we have to find some items of relevancy there. we'll also go down that room hallway and open up that door with the sword key here in a short bit. So. You may occasionally waste one shot or here and there, but essentially the alternative is worse because you end up getting bit. So once we have pretty much cleared this area, we will be able to go about getting the next number of enemies pretty much in this particular fashion. So run past him, and then head into here. We're gonna definitely use our get our herbicide and our first aid spray. Well, actually, we could have her heal us. So let's go ahead and put away the emblem, grab the herbicide, put the shotgun shells away, and definitely like keeping my I like to keep a lot of my ammo and weapons oriented to the left so I can quickly navigate down and equip what I need. So that's the only reason I'm positioning things in this fashion. Weapons to the left and in that particular order. So we'll take the opportunity to go over here and have her heal us.
Ah, Chris! This room is fully equipped with medical supplies. I can treat you, except for your major injury. Would you like me to?
We'll go ahead and... What is the major injury? His ego? I don't know. So have him heal.
Please do something for me, temporarily.
So have her heal you, and your health will be restored.
Most of these medicines are from Umbrella.
What's Umbrella?
Don't you know? It's a large-scale pharmaceutical company based in Raccoon City.
Oh, I see. And do you know how much of the medicine is usable?
Well, probably there is enough for 2 doses.
Alright, so we can heal ourselves 2 more times. So that essentially is all we have to our credit. So we need to be careful with our action. So, with that being said, we're going to head out immediately to the back the way we came, avoid all of the zombie threats, just run through the area, and then head through the hall. And then what we're going to do is we're going to head to the far end of the hall where we saw the other zombie coming from, because this is essentially where our next key is going to be. Or our emblem. I'm not sure which. So, well, I guess we'll find out in a second. So, upon attempting to approach, you'll find that there is a giant plant here. So, what we're going to do is use the herbicide to kill it so we can get to the other side. So, there's a pump here. So, we're going to go ahead and use the herbicide. And this will turn the water that's being pumped to the fountain into a toxic poison, and it'll kill the plant. And on the other side, we'll find the armor key, and then we'll have a slew of health items to grab. So first thing we're going to do is grab the health items, because this is going to require a lot of finagling. We may not have enough room for everything, so we're going to see how much we can grab. We may need to make trips. This is essentially where the challenging aspect of this is going to be a problem, because you will not have the inventory space to carry everything. So we'll have to make trips for this. But for right now, this will be sufficient. We'll probably kill one of the zombies to get them out of our way and free up our space a little bit. We'll at least, use up some of the ammo, but essentially that is the goal, is to basically make room for the items we need to grab. So let's do that work. Shit. Dickhead. I just healed. So that zombie is obviously dead, so I guess now we can use one green herb to heal ourselves, and then we'll go back for the other items. We got pretty much just the herbs to grab and the key. So I think we'll grab all of the herbs, and then we'll come back for the key. So obviously you can see once we go that we can't in the later remakes you could actually combine the herb in the menu, and you wouldn't necessarily have to pick it up first, but in this game we don't have that privilege, so we have to combine the herb and then we can pick it up. And now we will make the trip back, get rid of all of the items in question, and continue on. So just drop everything inside the stash. Take out the one green herb, we can mix that. And now we can go about going to get that key. So we have two keys now, the sword key and the armor key. That will free up a lot of our rooms, and we can actually start exploring a lot of these rooms and get ammo, key items, and some weapon material that we definitely need. Because that is essentially what we're really needing right now, is a means of defense. Handgun works well, but unfortunately we're burning through ammo by dropping some of these zombies to get them out of our way, making it a little bit safer for us to move. So head over here, grab the mansion key, and once you examine it, you'll find that it is a armor key. Now this will open up all the doors we've encountered thus far with an armor insignia underneath them. So Now that we have that item, we're gonna head... I don't remember if this door in the left is a sword key or if it's a small lock. I can't remember, so let's check it first. Okay, armor key. Bingo. There's our first major use of the armor key, because here we need a very important item. Number one, obviously, it is not going to be the magazine here, but it will help. It's broken shotgun. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. Inside the drawer here, a desk is locked. We need a small key to open the desk. Inside, we'll find some ammo, find shotgun shells. So essentially, we need that. But right now, we don't have access to that. So we're going to head out here. And we're going to head through the door back to the hallway where Kenneth's body is. And we're going to head back through the dining hall. So run to the far end of the dining hall, and we're going to head back to the main hall. From the main hall, we're going to head back to the art gallery we originally investigated and got the first floor map. And from the art gallery, we're going to head outside this hallway here, now that we have unlocked it with the sword key, and head on through. This floral hallway essentially will be another potential instance of a scare event with a zombie dog bursting through the door. So, once we dispatch the zombie dog, we're going to push this chest here, this little cabinet. Now, there's usually would be something underneath here, but in this particular mode, there is nothing there. Another dog will immediately burst through. And we're going to switch to our knife and just immediately continue with killing the dog. That will free up our ammo now, where we can reload the clip. And I believe there will be a item here in the form of another clip. So now that we have another clip, we have a magazine loaded and a fresh magazine ready to be used. Head through the door and into the west wing, lower floor, I believe is what this is. Take a look at your map just to make sure. So there we are. That's essentially where we are. A green herb will be on the left. We'll grab that later. But head over here. Unlock the door with the armor key. We'll go through there a little bit later. Head into here, which is a bathroom. And then once we unplug the bathtub, we will find another item of relevancy, which is in the form of a small key. Now, we will not be able to pick it up at present. Again, we have an inventory complication with Chris, so essentially we will have to make a trip back here for this item. So we'll leave that, and we will head on through. Instead, we're going to head around the corner, winding corridor. And then here you'll have two doors. The door to our left will take us to the shotgun puzzle that we need to get. The door to our right will essentially be our way to another part of the corridor of the lower level. This will take us to our safe room, which is that storeroom we originally opened. Go ahead and unlock it from the other side, and then just head on through. Forget the zombies. Don't even worry about them. Head on through, and then we're going to store a few things because we need to get some space. We need to make this happen. So we're going to drop off the sword key for the time being because we need the room, and the armor key. We're going to take the broken shotgun with us because we're going to go get us a shotgun. The reason why we need the broken shotgun is the shotgun is a trap trigger. Essentially, there will be a number of traps in the mansion that will potentially could kill you. The shotgun being one of them. Essentially, taking the shotgun off the hook will essentially trigger a ceiling trap that will attempt to crush you. If you do not put the broken shotgun in its place, you will die. The doors will both lock, and the ceiling will slowly but surely start to come down to kill you. Rebecca will not know where you are. She will not be able to save you. So in this instance, you will need to save yourself. And the best way to do that is to have to the puzzle right from the jump. But upon entering the room here, we will find the shotgun directly here. So grab it, and it is yours. It will come fully loaded, so that won't be an issue. But as you can see, the trap has been triggered. So before we leave, put the broken shotgun on it, and that will save you from the potential damages of a gruesome death. I do not know if there is anything else in this room. I don't think so. No other ammo. So we have a really powerful weapon to help us with our endeavors. Now, the unique thing about this is that we can actually kill zombies, very easily with a single shotgun blast to the head. This will be very beneficial for us to a lot of these zombies up and get them out of our way. So we're going to do that with these zombies here right now. That zombie will be taken care of. Now we will deal with this zombie right here. Come on, buddy. How you doing? Listen, eat this. Now this door here will lead us out into another room, a small office, but it is locked. We do not have the helmet key. It'll be sometime before we get the helmet key, so we can't really enter that room. However, we can go to this room here. Into another puzzle room with an art gallery. This is basically a trap case of pressing the picture, the images in the right order. So checking the land picture here, it'll give you the clue. The picture is entitled "The Cradle to the Grave." So basically, we need to put the pictures in order by button presses that essentially will align with the events of the thing. So we have a picture of a tired, middle-aged man. There's a switch below. Will you press it? But we have a tired middle-aged man, picture of a newborn baby. So we'll press that switch. So we want cradle to the grave, from baby to young child to young man to middle-aged man to old man to death. So essentially, the baby is first. Picture of a young man, not that one. So we don't want to press that. Here we have a picture of an infant. So press that. Picture of a lively boy. So press that. Then we have the young man, which just passed. So press that. Now, if you trigger it wrong, the crows will swoop down and attack you. So you'll know when you get it wrong. Middle-aged man, there we go. Press that. Heading to the far, far back here. Picture of a bold-looking old man. Press it. And then we will press the final switch of death. The picture is entitled The End of Life. There's a switch below. Press it. And there we have it. Now, this key item is a crest. We will need this item to unlock a path leading out the back of the mansion. So this is one of 4 keys you will need. So we're going to take that with us and make our way out. The menacing the music is just imposing because it fills you with dread. And I think that was the one thing that really kind of struck me about this game, because whenever you hear the music, it's like, oh God, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? Something going to happen? And it was just so nerve-wracking. So as soon as we get out of here, we're going to head into here, drop the crest. And we're going to head back through the green hall, grab the small key, and enter the other area that's outside the that we unlocked with the armor key. So let's go ahead and drop the crest. We're also going to drop our knife, and I'm gonna be brave and leave my other gun, my handgun, and my handgun ammo behind, because we got a few things we need to grab, and I want to grab them fast. I don't want to make trips, so we're going to take a calculated risk here, because there are going to be dogs outside this other area, and I'm definitely going to want to, swoop in, get what I need, then get out. I may have to kill one dog, but I should be able to do that easy enough with a shotgun. So upon entering this hall again, head through the double doors and into the green hall. First thing we're going to do is grab the small key, and then we're going to grab the other items, mainly herbs, I believe, next area. So grab the small key from the tub. I'm not sure if there is anything over here. Nope, just a toilet. So head on back on out, and then we're going to head back the way with the other door. Head to your left. We'll take you outside to a kind of small sort of enclosure area. Obviously, you can see there's dogs there. There's a dog there. And here we have not 1, not 2, but 6 green herbs. This is essentially why I wanted to come out and get these. So we're going to grab them all. We're going to mix the ones we can't grab. So we're going to mix the ones we do grab so that we can grab the other ones as well. So huge amounts of health here that we can have. So grab the green herbs at the far end. Now, a full 3 green herbs will heal you the same equivalently like the red herb will with the green herb. So you can mix 3 green herbs, green and red herb, green and blue herb, green herb, blue herb, and then you can also do the ultimate green, red, and blue herb in that order. Those were all basic and the most, they're the most basic and the most generic forms of herb heals of herb mixing you're gonna find, and they're pretty universal. Only later in later games was it incorporated with green and red herbs. As soon as you run back, the other dog will jump over, so just run out of the area. You're not going to need to come back here again. Grab the green herb there, and we have everything in this area. Now we're going to head back the way we came, back to the storeroom. We're going to grab the star crest now as well, and probably all of the keys. and our handgun and pistol. Or maybe just the handgun, I think. Yeah, probably just the handgun. So drop off, drop off the heal, drop off the herbs. Grab the handgun. Definitely don't want to put the handgun there. Put the shells there. Put the handgun here. Grab the armor key and go ahead and grab grab the star crest. Well, there we go. Okay, that's what I want. The reason why I want to do this is there's going to be a dog out here that we're going to want to put down. I'm hoping I can put him down with a pistol shot, and then I can rush up and stab him. Essentially, that's what I want to do. I want to pin him down and then just knife him to the point where he will die, and then I don't have to waste any more shots. Biggest threat with a dog is essentially the speed. Essentially, you'll have to be very mindful with this because essentially that will make him harder to target. So get your pistol ready, and we'll approach here. Damn it! Shit! Ah! Little asshole. Alright, so anyway, after we took care of that asshole, we're gonna go ahead and use the star. So here we have to find the wind, the sun, the moon, the wind crest, the star crest, the moon crest, and the sun crest. So we'll put the star crest here, and that will leave us only with 3 other crests to find. This will open the door that we need to take to get out of this mansion and head to the other area, which will be a garden or a guest house, if you will. So after we've gotten through that, we're going to head back the way we came. And we're going to pay a visit to the zombie, because there's going to be an item there we need to grab. So we're going to head up the stairs. Head down the hall. To the right, I think the door is locked by the armor key. So we'll use that key there and open that up. Then over here, we'll get the zombie's attention and blow his head off. And that will take care of that zombie. That zombie is out of the equation now. We're good. Now entering the blue room, the blue door here. And here, you'll find a herb, which we'll definitely take, because who knows what's going to happen. I just got bit up by a dog. So, but we will take... Over here, you'll see this big white paper on the wall. You don't have your lighter yet. You need to find your lighter. So, we will eventually get that. Matter of fact, where the hell is the lighter? I don't remember where you find it. I think we get that from... Where do we get it from? I don't remember where we get it from. I can't fucking recall. That is so weird. So obviously we can't really use the lighter yet in that particular instance. So we're going to have to take a trip downstairs and drop off some of these items. Most notably, we're going to drop off our handgun, our knife, and our green herb. We got a shotgun with 2 shells in it, with an existing 7 shells behind it. So That should be sufficient for our protection. So, go ahead and drop off the green herb. Well, actually, you can swap out the green herb for this one. But drop off your pistol. Combine your green herbs. Now put them away. Now heading out the store again, we're going to go back upstairs. We're going to go through that door that we initially saw earlier that we unlocked with our key. That is going to be a private quarters area that we're going to need to check out, because I think if I remember it right, the lighter is in that room. That is where we'll find our lighter. I think it's coming back to me. So head up the stairs, head to the left, and let's head to the private quarters room. Zombie in our front? Not anymore. Upon entering this room, you'll have a door to the left and a door to the right. First room we're going, the room to the right. In here, the lighter will be on our little bookshelf here. Grab that. We need that. Over here on the floor, you'll find more shotgun shells. And then over there on the other side of the bed, we'll find a red herb sitting on the floor. Now, if you have not used the green herb yet, this is pretty much where we will definitely use the next green herb we find. Obviously, that one we didn't need to mix earlier, but we had one already mixed, so we just, do it. Now, after we navigate in that room, we're going to head across the way to the next one. In here, we will find a number of things. Number one, look to the research diary, the researcher's will. My dear Alma, the fact that you have received this letter is both a joy and a sadness for me. I could not even talk to you because of that guy in the sunglasses. Who is the sunglasses guy? Do you remember? Alma, be calm and read this. I think I've told you that I moved to a pharmaceutical company's lab. They headhunted me. Last month there was an accident in the lab and the virus we were studying escaped. All my colleagues who were infected by the virus are dead. To be accurate, they've become the living dead. They still wander around. Some of them are knocking on my room door desperately right now, but there's no sign of intelligence in their eyes. That cursed virus takes away all humanity from the human brain. Love, joy, sorrow, fear, humor, eternally. And Alma, even the memories of the days I spent with you. Yes, I'm infected. I did everything I could, but I could only delay the progress by a few days. The most frightening thing is that I forget more about you by the day, so I choose a peaceful death rather than becoming the living dead. With that in an hour, I will have entered my eternal sleep. I do hope you'll understand my decision. Goodbye, and forever yours, Martin Crackhorn. So, that is essentially his last will. But over here, inside this little cabinet of bugs, there's going to be a switch. We're going to press it. And that will drain the aquarium, which we will be able to push now because it won't be so heavy. So head in through this corner here and just push that shit out of the way. And then over here, we're going to push this. Oh, we can't push that way. We got to push it the other way. And then behind it, we will find more shotgun ammo. And that is essentially all that we need in this room. I believe there is ink ribbons here. Yep, ink ribbons. So, once we get that, now we can go back to that other room where we killed the zombie, and we can use the lighter to light the fire and get another map for the second floor of the mansion. So, let's run down there, get that map. So, using the lighter will light the fire, and the heat will turn the map negative clear. And then we will take the map, which will have a layout of the entire second floor of the mansion. And then afterwards, we'll make our way out. The door to the red door that we see over there, we can't access that door yet. That is also locked by a helmet. So we will not be going through there just yet. So head down the stairs and let's drop off some of these items. So once we get here, we're going to drop off our red herb. We're going to drop off our ink ribbon. Well, we got to combine them. Hmm. Oh, we got a red green herb right here. Awesome. We can mix that. And that will pretty much do that. We'll leave our lamp. We'll go ahead and leave our lighter behind because that's not going to be anything we're going to need to really worry about for a little bit. So we'll head upstairs now, though. Still love it. Just that do, do, do. Just real slow, like there's gonna be something waiting at the top of the stairs. You have no idea. I mean, that shit was scary back then. That fucking scared the shit out of me because I'm thinking to myself, it's gonna get to the top of the stairs and then I'm gonna get grabbed by some fucking freak show. And it's a real mind fuck. It really is. So now that we got an armor key, we can open up this room here. So let's head inside. And inside this will basically be another trap that we need to basically get access to. So essentially, you see these statues here, this suit of armor in this room. And what we're going to need to do is push these little statues over these little vents. It's enough to block the little holes at the bottom. And then what we're going to do, we don't want to step on that switch there because that is going to trigger a trap of poison gas, which will filter in this room through these little vents. So block the vents, then press the switch. And hopefully, if this works, we won't get filled. So there we go. And that will open up the little cabinet back there. Now, if you push the statues, poison gas will flood the room. So just don't do that. But we will find the sun crest now. So we have that item secured. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go about finding our way into this. Well, first we'll get rid of the zombie. Reload your shotgun. And then unlock the hallway with the armor key. And then head into this hall. To our left here, we'll have some green herbs. Go ahead and grab them. Mix them if you have to. I always mix them, regardless of whatever may be ahead. I may get red herbs, I may not. It depends really on what you're lucky with. So, but each base, so mix them. And then upon entering this next corridor, we'll find another Bravo Steam Stars member in the form of Richard. Now, on his person, you will find another magazine. There's not really much you can do about him. In Jill's game, he is alive, but in Chris's game, he unfortunately, in this particular game anyway, is not alive. It is an unfortunate thing, but unavoidable. Despite your best measures of efforts, there's nothing you really can do to save his neck. Now, we obviously have a lot of materials here that we need to disperse with. So as much as I did go through this passageway, we actually need to make a trip back. We're going to use the Sun Crest and get that off our inventory. And we're also going to drop off Green Herb and the clip. So let's double back to the storeroom and go use that piece of work. Head down the stairs, just like always. So we'll drop off the herb. I don't know. Do we have do we have magazines in here for the pistol? I don't think so. But we'll grab the sword key. Drop off the magazine, and we're obviously going to use the sun crest. So I basically should have used some of these key items earlier. Oh, I need to make a trip back through here though, because I actually forgot to grab the lighter. I'm gonna need the lighter for where we're going next, or another area. So upon entering the hallway, head down and around, and go put the sun crest in with the star crest. That will alleviate one more item for us to bring with us to get this door open. So now we just have to find the wind and the moon crest. Now coming back through, we're going to head back to the storeroom, grab the lighter, and then head into the next hallway beyond Richard's body on the second floor. So grab the lighter, because we're going to need that. Matter of fact, we're also... I want to leave... I'm gonna leave the sword key, because I don't want to run the risk of having to make an unnecessary trip. If I do, I'll just rewind. I'll use the rewind feature, because I'm really hoping I don't miss the mark on that. So I'm gonna run into here. And then head into where Richard's hallway is. That's essentially what I refer to this as Richard's hallway. Because it is his hall. It's where he is. So upon bypassing Richard's corpse there on the floor, head into the next hall. And you'll have a zombie, which will, depending on how fast of a shot you are, he may get you, he may not. Obviously, he got me. So, but at the end of this hallway, there will be another room. Go into that room. Inside, you will have a very dark room. Dark by this game standards, anyway. So what we will do is over here, there is a candle. Go ahead and use the lighter to light it. Then over here, inside this cabinet here, you will find another magazine. Is there more than one? Doesn't look like it. Now we'll go over here and push this cabinet out of the way. And then in here, you will find more shotgun ammo. That is essentially what we want from this area. So we will make our way out now. Now, the next part of this piece of work is going to be that this passage here is going to lead basically where Richard was pretty much attacked. Essentially, this is pretty much going to lead us to the attic, but unfortunately, we do not have the shield key to open that door. That is the only door in the entire game where you will need the shield key. So we need to get, and one of the crests we need is going to be in the attic. So we need to get ourselves the shield key to gain access to the attic. But what we will do is go headhunting for some zombies, because we have a couple keys we need to use up, and we got a shotgun with a lot of ammo. So let's make these hallways and rooms a little bit safer for us to navigate. First thing, though, we're going to do is pay a visit over here to this room. First thing we're going to do is grab the small key. We are going to make a trip back here. I'll take a look. If it does have more items than I can afford, I can't grab, then I'm going to take my chance and just rewind it. But here we have blood. Hope this blood isn't from my teammates. Well, unfortunately it is, because we're going to find another Bravo team member dead out here on this balcony terrace. And as soon as we get here, we will encounter the body of Joseph Spire. He's been pecked to death by crows. So right over here, grab the ammo off his body, lying on the floor, and then just run out of the room. Typically, they will try to attack you, but if you're fast enough, you won't have to worry about them. So going out there was relevant to grabbing the ammo, but also the key, which we needed the key anyway, because there's another thing we're going to have to unlock. So once we've done that, we're going to head up and around the second floor and the far end of the hall. Nothing really else beyond over here. So it's just mostly product. It's ironic because the remake actually takes the game's expanse to a new level with its improved graphics. So right up here, we're going to have two zombies, one on the right, one on the left. Take them down. Backwards, and just wait for him to approach. Come on, boy. And that'll take care of them. Now we're going to push the statue, which is going to be an important piece for another puzzle, the jewel eye statue. So push the statue to this little opening here, and then just push it right off the second floor. Now it will smash, and you will be able to pick up the jewel in the dining room on the first floor. We have to make our way around to do that. So head around and through the door. Now here we will have the zombies to deal with here. That's one. That's two. That's three. So we are here. We are a little hurt, but we'll be fine. We'll go ahead and heal ourselves momentarily. Here it's locked. Carving of a helmet. This door will be locked from the other side with a numeric keypad, but we will eventually be able to use the pass number. I don't know how to get the pass number. I forgot. I need to look that up. So maybe I'll probably look that up on the stream next time. But we will head down the stairs now and dispatch the zombies down here as well. So essentially the entire first floor and second floor roughly has been swept of zombies. We don't have to contend with any more of these threats. Shit. I'm dead. I'm gonna die. Get back, buddy. Jesus. I mean, I thought he was gonna kill me. He almost did kill me. One more bite and I would have been dead. So head over here and heal her. Have her heal you.
Are you all right? Want me to treat it?
Yes, please. So that will take care of that bit of work. So that will be enough in terms of that. That will bring us back to full health, which is going to be great for long term. But we're going to definitely take advantage of dropping off the lighter now. We got another clip here. So let's combine them. We have an abundance of ammo now, so we're working really well with our managing of our resources. Grab the small key. Matter of fact, grab the sword key while you're at it as well. We'll get rid of that as well because we're going to use that for another door as well. So head out the door. And the first thing we're going to do is pay a visit to that room where we grabbed the broken shotgun earlier. So over here, that cabinet we couldn't open earlier, we're going to use a small key to open it. Desk is locked, so let's open it. And inside, we'll find more shotgun shells. And then afterwards, we're going to hake our way out. And then we're going to make our way back to the main hall where Kenneth's body is. And head to the left. At the far end of this hall, though, we'll find this small sword. We'll have this door here, which we will open with the sword key. Now, essentially, the sword key will no longer be valuable to us, so we can actually get rid of it. Head on in. Then we'll have some sort of a lounge area, bar, and we will have a piano here. Another puzzle. So, but to open it, to get working with it, we need to find the music notes. So over here, you will find the music notes behind this cabinet. Taking a look at them, it'll say that is the music notes for the song Moonlight Sonata. So, heading over to the piano, Chris, hilariously and embarrassingly, going to try to play Moonlight Sonata. So, get to the piano and just say, use music notes. Chris, unfortunately, can't read music.
It's me, Chris.
Is that you, Rebecca?
Ah, it's the Moonlight Sonata.
Can you play? Wait, what is that?
My interpretation is off a little. Chris, may I practice for a while?
Now, if you can choose to say yes or no, but either way, it doesn't really matter. She's still going to stay in play, so we'll go ahead and let her practice.
See? Just relax and play.
All right.
Essentially, it won't really be a bad thing for her to practice because you have another piece of work you can do, and by the time you're done with it, hopefully you should be able to move on with the next part of this, this tidbit here. So, but you will be able to hear her practicing the entire time while you're going down there. So first thing we do is return to the dining room, grab that jewel we pushed off the second floor. Which you can see the broken, smashed statue over here with the blue gem. So go ahead and grab that. We still have an armor key to use, so we're going to take a look at our map and see what other rooms there are that we haven't really checked out yet. So, but heading into this hallway here, and then back through into the green hall, we're going to head and go use the gemstone. So head into this room here that we originally ignored with the zombie guarding it. And inside you'll find the tiger statue. So essentially it says, some tigers have a red eye and a blue eye. Essentially the way it's talked about is gemstones. So put the blue eye inside the tiger statue. And you will get the wind crest. Now let's take a look at our map here real quick. Sweep the entire first floor. Essentially, we have access to almost all of the first floor, with the exception of that one hallway there on the third floor, as well as the adjacent rooms. Those rooms are predominantly helmet key rooms, so essentially we cannot access them. We're gonna head back to the main hall though and be sure. I want to check that one. I want to check that one because I'm not sure. I can't remember if it's a helmet key room, which I think it is, or an armor key. But all the same, we'll leave Rebecca to keep practicing while we check these other the remaining areas we have searched and the ones we have not searched. So head back to the dining room and run on through back to the main hall. So head over here, and then behind these alcoves here will be this door here. And we have the armor key used. There it is. Done. So we can get rid of that key now. And head on through. Now inside I believe we'll encounter a zombie. But over here on the table we'll find another magazine. And then to our left will be the zombie I was referring to. So take him down, get him out of your way. And then over here we have another dock desk, so we'll small key to open it. We'll find more shotgun shells. And then that will pretty much clear that path. Now we'll head down this hallway here to this other room, far in the back. And inside we'll find some herbs and probably another zombie. Now, we don't really need to really concern ourselves with the zombie, because it's essentially crawling around. But we'll grab the ink ribbons here. And the two herbs here. Which... I'm gonna wind that back. I shouldn't have grabbed those ink ribbons. So we'll wind it back to this point. And we'll grab the ink ribbon. We'll grab the green herbs and then the ink ribbon. There, then we can mix them, and then we can grab the ink ribbon. So grab the green herbs first. A handy little tool that rewind feature is, just because of the fact of that. So very happy for that. So grab those green herbs, mix them, and now we can grab the ink ribbons while avoiding the zombie as he's crawling around trying to get to us. So no reason to waste our time or ammo for this poor bastard. So once we get what we need, head on out. Now you notice in the back there's actually another door. That is the closet area. Now if we beat the game and we get the closet key, you can go in there and you can change your outfit. In this particular instance, though, we don't have the closet key, so we're not gonna really waste our time with it. So now that we have that item in question, we pretty much have everything taken care of. The only thing we don't have in tandem is going to be the wind crest. So let's go put that away inside the paneling. That will give Rebecca a little bit more time to practice. So we'll definitely do that. So head up the stairs and then head back to the right wing, second floor hallway. So once you get back here, go ahead and use the wind crest. Now all we need is the moon crest. So essentially that is what our next goal will be. But to get that, we need to get the shield key. To get the shield key, we need to solve the emblem puzzle. To solve the emblem puzzle, we need to have Rebecca play that goddamn music. So in that particular order, boom, 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 boom. So we're gonna head back and dump some stuff and switch out some other stuff. We got plenty of pistol ammo, so we're gonna go and put away our shotgun for now. Head and get the ink ribbons out. Matter of fact, we'll save our game. We'll keep the shotgun with the 4 shells, but we will effectively get the clip, the Beretta, like I said, I don't want to have my weapons oriented beyond the left side. I want them all lined up so that I can get to them easy fast. So let's go ahead and save the game. And then with that, we're going to go ahead and put our ink ribbons away. And we're going to we're going to grab the emblem. And we are going to head back to Rebecca. Because there's really nothing else for us to do. So it's all on you, girl. Time for you to pull through and do your duty. So let's double back and head right back to the first floor dining room and see if practice paid off for Rebecca. Wrong way. It is too much of a trip. It really is. Yeah, like that, just that desolate stillness, and then boom, boom. I fucking, God, it takes me back. You know, the memories, they just come back to you. You know, I've said it before, and I say it. You cannot appreciate the remakes unless you enjoyed the classics. You have to respect the classics. Now, heading in here, the music will stop, and that will be the indicator that she has got it right.
Chris! Chris! You like it?
I keep getting the feeling that these things are no good. I really do. It's got a very flowery smell to it. I don't know why.
That was great.
What is that?
So once she has finished the music, bear with me a minute. I'm gonna put these away. Um, you're gonna head on in, and inside you'll see that there's actually on the other side of the green room where we killed the plant and got the armor key. Inside you'll find the gold emblem. Now, taking the gold emblem will seal the room, but we need to switch the emblems. So by taking the regular emblem from the dining hall, this essentially is the purpose of it. So we're gonna go ahead and take out the gold emblem, put in the regular emblem. That will reopen the path. Now we take the gold emblem back to the dining hall.
Chris, are you all right?
So leave Rebecca here. She will be fine. Nothing will happen to her. And then we're gonna head back to the dining hall and get the gold emblem. And that will open up the clock that was ticking. And behind the clock, the shield key. So now we're gonna go get the shield key, take the shield key, and go get that last crest we need. Now we're gonna need to make a stop and get some healing items because we're gonna have a bit of a boss fight on our hands to get this last crest item. So head immediately to the storeroom and gear up. So as much as I did take the handgun ammo with me, we're gonna put that back because we're gonna need the shells. We're gonna need some mixed herbs, and that will pretty much be that. Because we're gonna have a nasty little boss fight. Care of. So equip the shotgun and let's get to work. Head back to the main hall, take the path through Richard's hall, and then proceed up the stall steps into the attic's vicinity, and then we'll enter the room. Heading up, key will no longer be of value to us, so we will get rid of it. And head in. Now right away, you will not encounter the threat until you've entered a little bit more deeper into the room. Obviously over here, usually there would be some shotgun shells in the remake, but in this instance, there is nothing. So take the measure of just taking your vicinity. So essentially pay close attention to the center column as well as the boxes. And with the second we try to enter further, we will encounter the Yawn, the giant snake that killed Richard. Now, there is no way you're not going to get bitten here. Obviously, that is pretty much evident. There's a shotgun shells. After a few shots, he'll take off. But essentially, that is scope of what is going to happen. You will get poisoned, and you will take some damage, but essentially that is unavoidable in that fight. You don't necessarily have to fight him, but there is no real easy way to get around him without getting bit. You will be bitten, you will be poisoned. There's no way around it. But over here, once you've dispatched him and chased him off, he'll grab over there and grab the moon crest, and essentially that will be everything you need. So that will conclude it. And we're going to head on out of here. The second we do come out, though, we'll be poisoned, and Rebecca will come to our rescue, I think. So, head down the steps.
Am I poisoned?
These crackers.
Damn it, give me serum.
And Rebecca will save our bacon.
Chris!
Kind of impressive for a tiny little thing like her to haul his big hulking ass all the way from the second floor all the way to the first floor west save room.
Is that you, Rebecca?
Chris, are you all right?
Yeah. What happened?
You were bitten by a poisonous snake. Are you okay?
My head is killing me.
I think you'll be all right because I gave you a shot. But please stay out of trouble.
You saved my life. I owe you one.
So, after the circus comes to town and we get lucky, we can actually get on with the next stage of this business. So, we're going to swap out your shotgun shells for the clip. And that will pretty much be the scope of that. So, head out the door, and now we can make our way to the press room with this last piece of equipment. So, just gonna head through the dining hall area, just straight to the next wing, and then we're gonna make our way to the guest house. We've obviously searched everything we can search here. All the rooms have very much been explored. So we need to find where these crests will do and where they'll take us, which will be to the next major area of the game. Or marginally major area of the game. The mansion is pretty much the most major area you'll encounter, with the exception of the catacombs, the guest house, and the lab. which we will get to those areas later. We're not going to go that way. We're going to go up the stairs. It's easier to go up the stairs. Because there's no telling what kind of threats we'll run into with the hallways. We may run into more zombies. There may be more dogs. So heading through the hallway up here and then basically making our way down is essentially the scope of where we're going to be heading next. Adjusting my chair, bear with me. Not a fan of my discomfort with not being able to move too well with this chair. So we're gonna head over here now and enter this room and get the crest installed. So put the moon crest in, and the door will unlock. Head on through. Now, upon entering this room, you'll notice that on the shelf up there, there is an item we need. So we're going to push these steps over, and then we're going to push them up to that shelf so we can get the square crank. This will enable us to get past the next area because it's actually going to be closed off to us because of a small tributary being not opened up. So head on through the door, and this will take you out to the garden area. Now out here we will have a number of threats. Mainly dogs. I don't know, 2 or 3 of them at least. We're going to grab the green herb here and the red herb. So what we want to do is try to get in the corner and just intercept them before they engage us. We got the ammo to burn, so just take them down. Come on, buddy. Over here we'll have some blue herbs, which we're going to grab those. And then I'm going to take a blue herb with me. We will have a number of poison snakes in the next area, so cross your fingers we don't get fucking bit, but we will see. Head over here, and through this gate over this way. And this will lead us to the tributary that we need to open up. So there's a square hole, so go ahead and use the square crank. I can't have these. These taste weird. I got a flowery taste to them. They got a flowery smell. They feel like they've been literally sprayed with some kind of air freshener. I'm not eating these. Jesus Christ. The water is running down the opposite side. Now that we've opened up the tributary, the path to go across this area is open to us. So run across and then climb up. And we're going to run and avoid the little purple snakes that will drop from the trees. And quickly board the elevator and leave. Now, the dogs here are docile. Unless you run into them or walk right into their line of path, they will not attack you. Just walk. Oh, well, no, too late. They obviously aren't as docile as I thought they would be. But thankfully, we could just run right through the area and get away from them. Here we have 2 blue herbs and 2 green herbs. We don't have the room for it, though. But we do have dogs. Oof. Dicey. So once we get through this passage here, this will lead us to the guest house here. And this will be our next major exploratory project. Gargoyle to our front will be relevant. The blue herbs here also will be relevant, but we're going to make a couple trips. We're going to go back and get those other items in question. But before we do that, head into this small save room over here, and we're going to dump a few things. Number one, we're going to definitely dump our green herbs, our green, red, and blue herb here. We're going to mix the green and red herb with the blue herb there. We're going to take out this green and red herb. We're going to put away the crank. And we're going to take out this green and red herb. Let's go get those other green and red herbs. Blue herbs, I meant, not green and red. I just dawned on me. Fucking idiot. We'll take the blue herb here. Got an abundance of materials here, but we don't really need too much of anything to take with us, so we'll definitely be mixing this blue herb with 2 green herbs I think we had in here somewhere. There we go, right there. We're going to go ahead and put them away. And we're going to go outside and go get those other herbs that we left behind when we dispatched the dogs. So we're going to do that next as well. So let's go back and go get them. So once we gotten through all those bits, you're gonna take a notice of this gargoyle. Now this gargoyle is kind of relevant because there's a boss here that has stretched its tendrils or arms or whatever you want to call them throughout the entire residence. So basically, you're gonna have a series of these little cracks here in the ground, like these little holes here, and we want to seal them because if we don't seal them, this little bastard will be able to strangle us to the point where we will not be able to really do anything. So we want to try to get. I'm hoping that this is enough. No, it looks like it's not. So we're gonna need to rewind it a bit and push it a little bit more over so we can get through and push it over. So let's see if we get lucky here. Okay, there we go. So that will take care of that potential problem. In order for us to get through here now, we just got to walk around the statue. And the best thing is he won't be able to strangle, that little monster won't be able to strangle us. Now here we have a cabin here. We're going to go through here and open this up. So in this room, we're going to have a few things. There's going to be a key inside the cup. We obviously can't, we can pick that up now. So that will be an important piece of an item for another locked cabinet somewhere. There's nothing inside the cabinet here. There's a book here we need to grab. So let's go ahead and unlock this desk here, though, first. And inside we'll find some shotgun shells. We're going to need to drop off a few things, though. So let's go ahead and head into this bathroom here. And I think we'll find some ammo or a key. So pull the plug in the dirty water in the tub, and inside we will find a power room, control room key. So we have another key. So, but unfortunately we have a limited number of inventory spaces, so we don't have that luxury of grabbing it quite yet. We'll be paying a visit back to this room. There's another room I need to pay a visit to. So we're going to head into the neighboring room over here, which is the lounge area, which will have giant spiders. So we're going to have them come on out. Avoid the spiders' poison spit if you can. If you get lucky, great. If not, tough break. Now, at this point, you pretty much can just run out of the room. Spiders will just bite the shit out of you, the tiny little things, but they can do damage over time. So we'll just leave the room. We'll use... we can get a reload our shotgun now, so let's head back inside. I think the baby spiders will be gone. The big spiders we killed. So essentially, that will take care of them. Inside here, though, you'll want to grab the shotgun shells. Oh no, magazine on the barrels over here. And ink ribbon on the table here. And then in the cinch over here, I believe we have a green herb somewhere over here, I think. Nope, doesn't look like it. But in here, you'll have a pool table. Now, the unique thing is there's going to be a number of balls here. Essentially, this will be pivotal to a key code to a lab area. So remember these balls. 9. A 6. A 3. One, 2. Clock dial 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then basically, it's a clock dial. So if you notice the way the cue balls are set, essentially it looks like a clock dial, but that is essentially the thing. So 9, 6, and 3. So essentially, it's like a clock dial. So. Not too sure if I remember it right, but I'm going to do my best to remember it off the top of my head. So we'll see. But I think that is all that we're going to find in this room. But essentially, that is basically the pool table is a key point of the code to gain access to the lab to essentially kill the monster at this vicinity, this place. So we're gonna go ahead into here now and dump some of our stuff and then go get those keys we left behind. So open your inventory and drop off the blue and green herb. And we'll go ahead and grab the shotgun shells. Keep the Beretta. And we'll just, I'm not gonna bother putting the damn things together. Over here, a first aid spray will be on the top shelf, and then a magazine on the bottom right shelf by your feet. So we'll put those away now as well. And now we'll go back to the residence apartment across the hall from us, grab the red book, as well as the control room key in the bathroom's tub. So open up the red book, and then we're going to check inside. And inside it's rather blank. There is nothing really important but the point of it is basically for a path to open up. So essentially that's really its only real purpose, is to basically open up a hidden room in that sense. So now I think I'm going to go ahead and save my game. And I think we're going to actually stop the stream here because I want to take a break. I need to get some fresh coffee. I need to use the bathroom. I need to shower. I'm probably going to shave because this is starting to drive me crazy. So we eventually have come to the guest house of this particular area, so I'm very pleased with it. It definitely is quite refreshing to enjoy this kind of dynamic. So I will be back, though, after I've done my fair share of things I need to do, and then we'll go ahead and get another stream going. and we'll keep this train moving, because I really want to keep the action going. Definitely want to get through Chris's scenario, and then I can like immediately like bang go for the Jill scenario, and just keep the this is exciting. I really want to keep playing, but at the same time I got shit to do, so I gotta go do that, and then I'll be ready for another roundabout. So thank you very much for tuning in. I'm very happy to play this. I've been really edging to play a Resident Evil game. So I'm looking forward to playing Director's Cut, Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, the OGs, the Resident Evil remake for Jill's story. We've played Chris. We're gonna do Chris again. We're gonna do Jill again. For the remake, we're gonna do Leon's scenario A and Claire scenario B for the remake as well, because we didn't do that. We did Claire, part one, first scenario, and then Leon's, but we never did the reverse. So it's going to be fun to do that. And yeah, lots of Resident Evils coming our way, guys. So subscribe, like, turn on the notification bell for any future live stream material that I'm going to be doing shortly and then after. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask, and I will do my best to answer them. And I am Savage Squishy 86, and this is our upcoming continuation of the Resident Evil Director's Cut Chris scenario, and I will see you guys in a little bit.